I'm Mrs. Turner, part of the environmental ed team here in Waukesha, and we're here today in our Fox River Sanctuary. The Fox River Sanctuary is a stretch of land that is right in the heart of the city of Waukesha. It's right along the Fox River, and the spot that we're at the moment is called a marsh or a wetland. And we're visiting it today because it's a very unique setting. Here we are very fortunate to have such a gift as part of our water system here. We're going to take a tour of the marsh and talk about what it is and actually go into it so that we can get an up-close and personal experience. But for the moment, let's just take some time to look around and listen to the sounds. So as we listen, maybe you heard some bird calls, some insect sounds. Some of the birds that frequent the sanctuary here are robins and red-winged blackbirds, geese, and ducks, and occasionally we will see a great blue heron. Those insect sounds are from cicadas, but we also have many dragonflies, damselflies, and of course mosquitoes. We might even see a mammal or two: muskrat, fox, coyote, deer. See the square object that's on a post in the distance? That is not here by accident. That is actually a bat house. The bat house is a dark color, and if we were to get up close to it, there would possibly be some bats roosting, as we know that they sleep all day and they fly all night. If we take a look around, notice the really tall plants, long leaves. We see stems that have very long brown seed pods on them. Some of our younger folks call them hot dog plants. Those are cattails, however. There's other plants that frequent this area that we can expect to find. A plant called red osier, or dogwood is another name for it. If you look in the distance, you'll see tree lines there, and what those tree lines kind of tell us is that that's a place where the marsh or the wetland is not so wet, and we are actually in another part of the sanctuary. We're in more of a wooded place. Those trees would not do very well if they were here in this wetland. Do you see any water? Some of the water that we have here in the marsh are ponds. I wonder what it is that we would find if we were to go into those ponds and go underneath the green. It's hard to think of that as a pond or as a body of water, but it actually is. And what we see on there at this time of year is a growth of duckweed, and there are species of algae too that grow from the warm conditions and from all the water that's here in the marsh. So it almost looks like we could walk on it, but we can't walk on it. We can walk in it. So here we are, up front and close and personal in the marsh. This gives you an idea of just how tall these cattails can grow. As I'm walking in here, and walking is not necessarily an easy task, there's tall grasses to navigate, but as I put my foot down, I can feel my foot go down even farther. It's kind of spongy feeling in here. So what exists underneath the plant material? We're going to take a look at the soil. And I really have to do some digging because they don't trim the plants here. Everything that you see growing here when it becomes the fall the plants will die out, and they'll drop to the ground. They'll be pushed by the wind, and then they decompose, or they rot on the spot, if you will. It's very, very soft and spongy. I actually can hear the roots splitting as I pull it up. So the root systems from these plants are all very much a part of the soil. But I'm finding some roots, some stalks. I'm even finding some little snail shells. Ooh, it's got a very fragrant smell. A little bit of an oil smell to it. If I squeeze it, I get a little water. It's a little dry this time of the year. The soil in the marsh plays a very special role.